2 seconds.
Good. Please stand, call the meeting to order. Pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let the record show all members present, the attorney's present. We need a motion to approve the minutes for June 7th. A motion and June 15th workshop and the June 15th executive session.
I'll make a motion. We accept the minutes for all three of them.
Second.
I'll second it.
Been a motion made that we accept June 7th, June 15th workshop and the June 15th executive session minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Dollar General, hang in with me here. This is the last map before it turns into the final map. We've talked with Dollar General, their engineers, and they had, when we talked about this in the original, about giving up utility space, and now it's come down to where we actually thought, this is Drayton Road down here, and this is where the old lawn property where the concrete and everything is at. We actually thought that the building was going to be coming up here. What had happened when they were talking about the lawn property, this still ends up in litigation. This square right here where they're going to put the parking lot was Greg Lawn. So Greg Lawn sold that to them, and then the Evans owned the rest of this down to Renee's. So the actual building, the front of the building, here's the front entrance, will face Grenway Road. The side of the building will be on Park Road and through the alleyway there next to Renee's. The back of the building and their loading zone will be next to Renee's. What they need from us, and I had Randy and Jason go out and do all the utilities and check things out. Right here in the green is a right-of-way that they want us to give up. This right-of-way is where our utilities is at. Right here, there's water and storm sewer that run through here, and it all dead ends right here. So the guy said that they could come, when they came in, the utilities can be cut right here at the parking lot. There's a storm sewer that runs here. They can run their drain water directly off into the storm sewer from the parking lot. The water runs back here in the sewage, in the storm drain. On this side where they're doing their loading dock, there's nothing really here except for where they're going to put the trash barrels and stuff. So that's not a big deal. But there is in the side of the building, there's a place that they're going to put a 9-space parking lot for their employees. That parking lot will come over the town's utilities. And what we had told them prior, and what we have to decide tonight, is if we give up that right-of-way. I told them if we gave up the right-of-way, it would be under a contract that if something happened in that utility area where this parking lot's at, and the town had to go in and fix it, they would have to repave their parking lot. That's on them. They said no problem whatsoever. They said if you fix the utility, we'll repave it and take care of the rest of it. But we would have to have that in the contractual writing there.
If they're talking about giving up a right-of-way, like vacating right-of-way, there's
For the town.
there's a specific legal procedure for vacation of a right-of-way.
Okay.
So what they should do is petition the town with the exact legal survey of what they want to vacate. And generally, the vacations are still subject to the utility easements. They still stay. So it would have to be included, it actually is an ordinance that would need to be adopted, that if you intend to vacate it, it would still be subject to utilities.
Okay.
But technically, are we really vacating it with them still going to take care of their responsibility in regards? You know what I'm saying? If they're, if in the contract itself, then we're technically not vacating the right-of-way.
Right.
We are letting them
use it.
use it, and just like any home, and just like any owner, homeowner out here, if we choose to build something on that right of way, it's at cost to us to
Correct.
replace that if the utilities has to go in there and fix it.
Then I
So-
guess if it's not a vacation, then it could be just a use of the right of way.
Right.
Then that would be subject to an agreement where they would have
And
to indemnify, hold harmless,
Yeah,
and
so that would, I mean, it's really not vacating the utility, it's more or less just letting them put
Use
that
this
parking
as-
lot over there, and if we do ever have to go in there to fix anything, then they're still responsible for repaving their thing, and if they're gonna put that in the contract, then we're not vacating anything.
correct. And you technically, you shouldn't be vacating utility easements. Unless, like I said, there's a need where you can rerun things around.
And, I mean,
So we
it's
just need to
a-
tell them that as long as there's a contract stating that.
Yeah, it could be like a license agreement that you're giving authority to utilize that easement. And I'm assuming that their council would draft it up and let me then play with it, and indemnifying and holding the town harmless and all that good language. The right to come in and basically upset any improvements they have if you need to get to the utilities.
Okay, I'll give them a call or email. Mr. Galinko,
Yes.
thank you for coming. I guess really what we wanted to know is, there's, we're kind of new here in office, been here about a year and a half, and we still don't know what your building's gonna be. Nobody can give us this answer and stuff, so, and we've heard so many things, and I think the best thing to do is to bring you in and say, Mr. Galinko, what's your building gonna be? What's it gonna be when it's finished?
I can explain you now. I did not put any siding because this is additional building. We have some brick walls, I building right now a deli store. It will be sausage and cheese. I can bring from Chicago good stuff, and plus produce will be some produce like good stuff, oranges, apples like this, back section. It's not right now. I'm working over there. Very soon we can put concrete floor, framing roof. Maybe a couple months I'll be opening one side. This is deli store. At the same time, when they start running over there, I'll be finishing this cafe and kitchen, and we'll be complete around building brick around, and we'll be looking good and cleaning up mess and start working. We'll be working for people, for community. I can make good cafe for music, and people be enjoying over there, have good food. And
So what is the time frame that we're looking at getting this building done? This building has been going on for quite some time, sir.
yes,
and-
I lost 1 year because it was twice cut my this cable. It was going above electro power. I was going to court and some waiting long time, and this guy's moving everything. I lost 1 year. I could be done before a long time ago, but now I need running fast, and I'm still now working over there almost every week a little bit. And I brought contractors. They will be speeding up and finish this store, and then at the right side we can finish it up. And I don't know, maybe this for complete all building, maybe taking 6 months, maybe like this. But this is one store left side from post office. I go finishing in a couple months and start running, opening.
That's where you're building the
Right.
extension off to the side next to the post office?
Right.
And I see you've dug some stuff on the right side too. Is there gonna be an
Right side
extension
there
there?
will be kitchen, and I put some brick wall and close everything. This should be, because I did not put siding, because this will be interior wall, Exterior will be kitchen, brick, and another side brick too. It's like this.
So you say so it's gonna be like a little restaurant too?
Yeah, will be cafe, but will be some for party. If people want some more, the birthday will be come over there. Will be live music. Will be some people playing too music, and I would like to have some for school. Some couple, maybe a couple, maybe 10 boys, or I be teaching music too, because this will be like, will be community.
I seen on your Facebook you play piano.
Yeah, piano, drum
I
set.
see.
I got all instruments over there, but sometimes I'm enjoying for during break, but now piano and saxophone, trumpets, I play all instruments and guitar, but I try and teach some local people who should be making too, participating. It's not only me, it will be for everybody here, good place for resting and
What's the upstairs gonna be?
cool.
What's the upstairs gonna be?
Upstairs, the second floor, it will be office and some guest room. If you have time, sometimes come inside, I can show you inside everything.
Do you actually have plans drawn up for this and can submit to us so that we're kind of more aware and what actual time frame you are looking at?
Yeah, I bring next time plan and show you, explaining everything.
You don't have to bring it, just if you can send it to us, we can all look it over and at least be able to do it and then.
Now it-
No, I get it. I said when you have time, if you can maybe forward it to us, give it to us,
Yeah,
so we can
sure.
just take a look at it outside. You don't need to come back. We're just trying to get an idea of exactly how long it's gonna be until this building is actually finished and, not looking as bad as it has for the last.
I'm interested myself finishing as soon as possible because it's taking a long time. I bought this land 12 years ago, so I was paying taxes only for land, but now time come in, start working out.
So with the other side of that, there is no actual permit that I've seen issued for that other side,
For the right side?
for the right side.
No. No, I think your last permit was for the extension on the left side by the post office, right?
Yeah, for purchase and that permit until, but I can finish soon. When I finish
The next permit that you get will be for the entire finish of the building. When you first did the building, you should have had one permit for the building from start to completion, not every year and every 6 months. And that's made this building go on for years. And the last store we had come in was built in less than a year,
So, do we need to amend the permit now and give them the permit for both sides, so that it's done,
No, you finish the left side,
I finish that.
then
then
do
issue another
the,
permit?
for the completion of the entire thing. That it's done.
He's already got that one permit, so he's good for a year. So,
Well, that's what I said, is if we do it now, it's a year from now, as opposed to a year and 6 months. So if we
I don't know if you can amend it after the building inspector's already issued it, though. No.
Not unless he was here and everybody
Right.
concurred.
I'm fine as long as he gets, the next permit is the end of the permit, it's done. That does all of your electrical, your sewage, the walls, parking lot, everything,
yeah, but in order for him to be done, like he's talking about, before he moves to the kitchen, it seems like it would be a lot of electrical and plumbing and,
Kitchen will go fast because I got this, my friend, he's bricklayer, he'll be helping me and he'll be working good. It's only electrical put around building and additional buildings and the plumbing system and cooling, heating at least.
yeah, because you don't have a permit for any of that right now.
No, it will be permit for this is when I be taking another last one, permit for inside working.
Okay.
Now only
It's
I need finishing this
just
produce and then it's
repetitive,
store.
just constant,
And
and they should have one permit to be able to do everything, and so would it.
we tried that, we was gonna do that before, but it didn't happen that way.
Any other questions for Mr. Glinkle?
Thank you, I
No.
appreciate
Thank
your
you.
comment. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks.
you
At least
for-
we know what's going on now, and we know what the
Thank you
building's
very
gonna be. And
Appreciate it. If you have some time, you can come inside and explain you more everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't actually, I know, now that I see you, I know who you are. I didn't really realize who you were, working out there and everything,
Nice
so.
to meet you.
Next time I see you, thank you. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
TIF zone.
Yeah, I've talked to him before about tips,
Yes.
that's, come on back. Paul would talk to us and, let's go next. These are the areas on here, are businesses areas that are on zone for your ordinances. And what this does, I know it's extra money from property taxes for you guys can use. Well, actually, you have to have a board on this as well. Of spending this money on like streets, signs, anything that helps improving businesses.
What kind of a job is it to start a TIF? I know it's not gonna be small.
Well, it's not, and I wasn't prepared to talk about it tonight, so
Okay.
if I would have known, I would have had it all outlined for you.
Can we discuss it at the next meeting then? So
Yeah,
you're
that's fine.
prepared?
That's fine,
'Cause
that's
I-
fine, because
this
it's a little bit
TIF's
more
pretty
entailed
big,
than
and
just
I don't know
it's
anything
just
about it.
this.
Correct, and I've got to look, because you don't have a redevelopment commission, and usually the whole TIF starts with a redevelopment commission, right? You guys don't have redevelopment, yeah.
No, we do
So
not.
I've got to figure out how you do it as a town to even establish. You got to have your maps, you got to have your financial analysis, you got to have your allocation areas, and then eventually there's an ordinance, but there's procedures that go.
We're still away. We're still
Yeah, and I
away.
mean, the idea of a TIF is usually you're using, it's like a snapshot of what your property taxes are, you like kind of freeze it, and then any growth on that usually goes to repay bonds, or TIF money can be used for establishing the infrastructure in that area. It can't be used for maintenance of it, there's specific uses of TIF funds. But
Well,
That's it
this
in
is
a
something
nutshell.
that Paul Vincent discussed in reference to the intermodal and stuff, if it's gonna be coming in and things moving in and so. Okay.
yeah,
well,
but I'll pull it up a little bit and give you a better outline for it.
Fourth of July meeting change. 4th of July was on Monday,
It's on Monday, yeah.
so we'll just do it for Tuesday. Want to switch it to Tuesday?
Tuesday be nice. Or
July 4th is on
It's that,
Sunday. Monday, the 5th is.
the holiday is on.
The state, or the recognized
Got
holiday
you.
is on the 5th.
That's what it is.
So they'll get the day off Monday, so that'll be a Tuesday. We good with changing it
Tuesday's
to
fine.
Tuesday? So that would be on the 6th?
6th.
6, yes.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah, please notice it.
I've got that ready. After this meeting, I had to wait for the video okay first.
Motion to pay the claims in the amount of $29,125.55.
I'll make a motion, we pay the claims in the amount of $29,125.55.
A second.
Been moved and seconded, we pay the claims $29,125.55. All in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Pay claims. Brian, comments?
We've had some rough meetings, the last several, in regards to some of the things that we've been doing that I didn't agree with. So I wanted to kind of clarify some of that stuff. It's not necessarily the fact that we bought a mower. It was the fact of how we actually did it. We conduct business here at a meeting, and the three that approve it wins here at a meeting, not outside of a public meeting. This was something that was brought up, and within 2 days it was done. The proper procedure, according to IC code, would be that Carrie didn't have anything to do with this according to the notes that was inside there. She had no knowledge of it. However, if you look at the paperwork, State Board of Accounts she needed to file a State Board of Accounts thing that goes through the clerk's office, through everywhere, to say that there was no conflict.
Well, that's
Because-
not mandated. If there's a conflict of interest, yes. I'm disputing there's any conflict of interest.
But there is.
No.
There is. Well, I have the
Well,
IC
you
code.
even said in the meeting that you understood that it wasn't a,
No, I didn't.
I can pull up the
tape and watch it. You said that there was not a conflict.
I said there was no nepotism.
That's the same thing.
Nepotism is different than conflict of interest, as I have found out over the course of looking all this stuff up. I spent kind of extended times looking through this because of the way that it was done and the way that some of us were completely dismissed. While I get that I'm only one member, there is 5 of us that run this town, and being the town board president doesn't give you any other decision-making powers. It gives you run these meetings, we have to give you authority to sign certain documents and stuff like that. You represent what happens here at the thing, but you threw president around like it meant something.
Absolutely not.
You did.
How was that? That's your opinion.
Right, that's my interpretation of it, and
If I wanted to do that,
Things-
say it's absolutely on my thing and stuff, I would have said, okay, go ahead, and wouldn't have did that. I went through and I contacted everybody, except you,
But you
because you
didn't.
weren't at the meeting.
but you didn't contact everybody. Now,
Who's
if
not the
you're-
everybody? You?
I was not contacted about this at all. I had no idea.
Okay,
that
so
the-
now,
that
so
a
now
mo-
we
that
can
were
go
in-
back, now
Well,
we
hold
can
on,
go
let me
back to
talk.
yesterday, or day before yesterday, or Friday, when the guys wanted to buy a track hoe or a little loader, and Randy said, Dennis, this is going up for auction. And I started laughing. I said, no. And I was in the room where you talked to him, and I said, you call Brian. And
Yeah.
you asked Brian. And he
What did I
called you,
say?
and you were on there and stuff, and you said, how is it? Is it a good deal? It was a $15,000 purchase. He said, is it a good deal? He told you yes. You told him that you were all for it, but contact the rest of the members. And he said, I probably can't get a hold of Evelyn. He goes, okay, but if we get a hold of the rest of the members and stuff, I'm on board.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I said, if you
and
get
then
a
you
hold
made
of
the
all the
comment,
members-
don't worry about it. I wouldn't treat it like the mower. I wouldn't have bought you an 8-year mower. I'd have thrown another $3,000 in there and bought you a new one.
Absolutely right.
That's totally wrong.
Absolutely
that mower
right.
is $16,000.
Okay.
It takes 3 people
it
to make a
takes-
decision.
But in a public
3.
meeting,
And you,
not outside.
why? You wanted to buy a loader with everybody's okay in an auction that was going to be
Okay,
2 hours.
but there's
Friday
a di-
night, there was a
okay.
Friday afternoon, the 2 hours, that
Amber,
auction was
you
going to
can-
go on.
Amber, if you would correct
I'm
me if
looking
I'm
at your rules and procedures to
Okay.
see if you have anything about
If
purchasing in here.
if all the members were on board to buy that mini excavator for up to $15,000, we can rectify that at the next meeting, but all the members have already said yes to purchase that mower. All of us.
It only takes
unanimous.
3. It only takes
It
3.
only takes 3 here at a public meeting. So if there was a discrepancy in regards to, I should have been able to, at the public meeting, you could have been, there was never any motion brought up about that mower, period. Not at a public meeting, to say that we would purchase the meeting. Number one, we weren't in the process.
Well, I could tell you
of-
for the last
Well, let me speak,
35
Dennis.
years and stuff, that's
We-
the way it's been done.
But it's not.
3
We said we were
members
changing
do
it
it.
because it's
No,
not
you
been
had
done
one.
right.
You had one person making decisions on the last council and not asking the rest of them and stuff, and they all went ahead and let it happen. It wasn't. This was 3 people on this board
There's 5
that
people
looked at
that
it and
can
stuff and said,
speak
okay.
on every single
And
matter that happens with the town.
Well,
So when you bring it to the meeting.
vote me out
that
as
should have
president, and
been-
then you can do it another way and stuff. But until then,
But you have
if
to follow
something
the
comes
IC
up, then
code,
we'll do it.
Dennis. You have to
Why
follow the
didn't I
IC
follow the IC code?
So I don't see anything about purchasing in your rules or procedures. Are there any policies that you
No.
guys have adopted by any ordinances or anything?
No.
But purchases are done at a public meeting, is brought up at a.
Final action should be done in a public
Correct.
meeting.
That was.
Unless there's a purchasing policy that gives somebody authority to do transactions with a certain dollar threshold. That's why I'm
As long as
asking
I
the
worked here, all the councils in the past and stuff, if it came up to something to where we had to get something done, it was contact the 3 members. If you had the 3 members, okay, they went ahead and got it done and they finalized it in the following meeting. It's always been done
But
like
you're-
that.
but
Not
you're
one
talking about
person,
emergency
3.
Purchases.
That
Emergency
was, it wasn't
purchases-
going to be, he was not gonna hold that.
But
And
we
that's
weren't-
something that we needed.
But no, it wasn't. We
Yes,
don't-
it
We
was.
don't need it right now.
Well, that's your opinion. You're not out there mowing.
Right, but that's what I should have been able to say at a public meeting, Dennis. That's what I'm
You're
talking
upset
about.
because you didn't get notified.
I'm
Plain out and
upset-
simple, that's what it
we
is. You're
didn't-
upset because you didn't get notified
But you weren't at the meeting when everybody else was notified.
Because when I was elected.
I'm not gonna chase you
I
down. You
told-
didn't answer the phone for me.
I
You didn't
told-
answer
when I was
emails. You
elected
didn't answer
here,
anything.
Dennis, when I.
No, it's not Dennis. You weren't communicating with me. Okay? Every time I tried to, I have did an outstanding job of communicating with this daggone council,
Are you
and
gonna let me
since I
talk so
took
that
it,
I can continue
I've
with
called
what I've
her
said?
every time something went on and stuff, and I've emailed and put messages out every time. If you don't like
Are
the
you
way the
gonna
mower is done, too bad. That's the way I say.
But we have to follow IC code and State Board of Accounts too.
The
for
IC
every
code was
purchase.
fine, and that's not
No, it's
something
not.
that you're going to get into.
Okay, I can find the IC code and we can go through
don't
it, but
care.
I'm sure Amber has.
Then have the
a better
IC code,
idea.
have the state police come in and take care of it.
The
Okay?
State Board of Accounts can come in and take care of it
Let
because it
them
was a
come in.
purchase that was
Let them
not
come in. I would
authorized.
be much more apt to talk to them than I would you,
I know.
because you don't let this go.
It's not that I'm letting it go, Dennis. I don't care
I'm
whether
smarter than a
about
fifth grader. I'm not gonna do this.
I
Okay.
don't care about the purchase of a mower. If we did it the way that we should be doing it, which is here at a public meeting where I should have been able to say whether we should buy it or not, you're talking about something. We said we weren't doing
Brian,
business that way.
if you-
And that's what I said I was
If
elected for, was to do
you
it
and
the right
Joe
way.
and Carrie would have bought that mower, I would not have
I
had
wouldn't have done
any
it.
problem whatsoever, because it took 3.
I wouldn't have
That's
done
the
it.
key. It takes 3.
And what you guys may want to do is just put it in a purchasing policy, what any outside purchases would be and what thresholds are, so there's no question.
Emergency purposes, I get
You
it.
can do a few $1,000s on your own $500 or whatever and stuff. But if it's a few $1,000s and stuff, then it takes 3 people. And you've been council president for 20 plus years. It's always taken 3 people to make the decision to do that. In or out of the meeting, when you needed to do something when you were council president, you say get a hold of the other members and stuff. When you had your 3, then it got taken care of. I've been around here too long. I've watched it happen so many times in the past. This was not something that was done to keep you out. I've never did that.
But you
But
see,
it was done by
you're saying
the
that I'm
same
upset
standards
about
we've
buying a
done.
mower, and that's not the case here at all. I'm upset about what the process was. We conduct business here at a public meeting. There was never a motion brought up to buy a $7,500 mower that I was at. This was done outside. We all have a right as council members to say what we need to say
And you've
in
said,
regards to
and
it.
you've
You're
said what you
absolutely
need to
right.
say.
However,
But
if that,
3
if
others
that
said we're buying
purchase-
it,
I'm
so it's
telling
done
you,
and over
if
with.
that purchase was
about-
actually, hold on a second, if that purchase was actually brought up at a public meeting, Evelyn would have definitely changed her vote in regards to that, and you would have definitely been, that mower would have been turned down.
I disagree with you.
No, because Carrie doesn't have a vote in it. When she figured out what I was talking about in regards to the conflict, she
not a
understood
conflict.
exactly what I was saying.
It's not a
So it would have been
conflict.
2-2, and the motion would have
It's not a
died.
conflict.
It is, Dennis. It was a
But your
family
opinion,
member.
my opinion.
And paperwork, read the IC, am I right, Amber?
I
IC
wouldn't
code
say
says you have to
it's a
file
conflict, But
paper.
what I would say is that there's provisions that say contracting with a unit and you can go ahead and do things. Sometimes they recommend just disclosure of the family relationship.
And she would have
So
needed
it's
to file
nothing,
paperwork.
so it's nothing that's been done where the council or I have broken the law or anything else and
No,
stuff.
it's just a disclosure.
Thank you very
It's
much.
just a
Let's move on.
disclosure.
We're here to move on and work for this town to make it better.
But I'm
I got
trying to
no
get it
time
so-
to argue about a damn mower that was bought by 3 council members
But I want to
legally.
move forward
So
because
we
you
are
say
going to
that
move
this is going
forward.
to happen
So we're going to
again,
move forward with old
and it's
business.
not the way that it
So
should be happening.
bring up your air conditioning and heating thing.
Okay, please don't tell me what I need to do and what I don't need to do.
Okay, I'll bring up our
Okay.
other air conditioning thing then. We'll move
I
on
still
that
have a
way.
floor.
What was that you was talking
I still
about,
have a-
making it,
I still
having
have
like
a
a limit type thing?
I'm not going to listen to you. You just said, you're the president, you run it. When you want to be
you're-
president and stuff,
You're
you can
not
run the
letting
meeting
me
and go
finish.
that way.
I'm not saying, Dennis,
Purchasing
I need to
thresholds
move
under
forward.
$50,000, you could have a small purchasing policy.
Yeah.
It could very well clearly set out, and keep doing what you're doing, but clearly set it out that everybody approves and understands. That's what you could do. just
Well, there's the
to kind
answer to
of-
that question.
Just to kind
We
of
just-
solve
but we-
this
that's what
going
we gotta do then,
forward
right?
and setting up your policies
Sounds
and
like it.
procedures.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving forward, we should be able to
nothing more
to
than
do
what's been not
everything
been
here.
done. It has been done for the last 35 years. So,
Well, that's what we need to change because it's not 35 years ago. It's 2021.
yeah, let's move forward and fix this town and stuff instead of arguing about a damn mower.
Yeah. please.
that we didn't need.
Please, please.
And another opinion,
done. We're
your
done.
opinion,
We're
my
done.
opinion. Oh, now you're gonna
Move
decide
on.
when it's done. Jesus Christ.
You're so unprofessional, man. You are one of the most unprofessional people I've ever met in my entire life, and you call me unprofessional.
See, now you're getting into your childhood fourth graders.
No.
Okay, so go to the furnace and air. We had a bid from Dice Plumbing and Heating that was $13,700. I had Tropic Air come out, and his bid was $11,700 for the community center. Brian had
Not so costly heating and air come out, and the bid was $89.50 for the exact same work of the other ones. I don't have that. I just got it in my email tonight when I woke up and came in here, so I didn't have it.
Joe and I have seen the bid on his phone. I'm okay with that bid and stuff. That's a good price. If you want to move forward with, what was her name?
Not so costly heating and air.
Is he gonna do the exact same thing that this other guy's talking about?
Actually, he's putting a bigger furnace in.
Not so costly?
Yeah.
He's got good credentials.
Actually, he's putting 20,000,
Yeah, he does.
20,000 more BTUs in.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Okay.
He's pretty good.
So somebody want to make a motion that we take not so costly and have them put in the heating and air conditioning in the community center?
I'll make a motion that we get not so costly for 87 or 89.50 for the air conditioning units.
Second?
I'll second it.
Been moved in second that we have not so costly heating and air. Put in a new furnace and air conditioning unit in the community center for a total of $8,950. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Put it in. RTS. I have been emailing back and forth with the owners. He had emailed me saying that there'd been many cans outside that weren't RTS's cans that they'd been dumping, and their drivers had been telling them that, and I said, no. I said, RTS is only dumping what's in an RTS can. I said, I drive these streets every day, and I said, there's trash cans out there that don't belong to RTS that are full, and they drive right by them. I said, whoever's telling you that's lying to you. So I told him, I said, the council would like to possibly amend the contract to where we go back to where we were with waste management, where they come out and they pick up one large item a week at your tree lawn where your can is, and see where we go there instead of going down to the sewage plant. Because he says, well, we'll pull the dumpster down there and we'll go back to the phone calls where they have to schedule it and stuff. I said, that's not what we want, because that didn't
It's
work.
not working.
This can down here has turned out to be a extreme pain. So just letting you know, when he gives a dollar figure and stuff of what I think to bring it back to where we were, just the same as waste management, then I'll bring it before the council and stuff, and we can go from there.
He has spoken to you again or no?
Yes, he's getting with his board, and they're gonna see how much more that they would like to charge to go back the way we were.
I think part of the problem is that the truck's usually driven by one guy, and so if they
Yeah,
sell
they
a
would have
large
to do-
item.
Well, they're doing two guys
No, they're doing two.
jumping on each side
I
too.
don't even see them. They're doing two guys. Okay.
I think their biggest problem is they have the top dump instead of the back dump. Because if you start picking up chairs and stuff, they're not gonna, when they stick them in there, they're not gonna dump.
Well, wasn't the original contract for picking up one item?
Yeah,
calling it-
originally.
Calling.
Original.
You'd call in on, and then they would pick it up
But
on
people were
Friday, and they'd bring
saying
a
that if
separate
they weren't
truck in.
coming.
But we don't wanna have to make them call because they wasn't picking them up when he
Right,
was
I
calling, so
mean, it
they
should just be something
they should just be
automatic.
picking them up and getting it over with.
I would think that they would just bring out another truck when they picked up our trash and go around and pick up the big items, and the other trucks can pick up the
It just
garbage.
seems easy.
They would have to bring the truck out because
But we'll have to see how much more they want to do that.
I want to say that this contract saved, what was it, $25,000 or something
Yeah.
from what Waste Management was?
5-year contract, it was $5,000
So-
a year, I mean.
We'll see what they want. The Legion's fireworks, the Legion riders have not, and the gentleman shooting the fireworks has not been able to do anything with the insurance, but the Legion is doing it right now, and they are currently working with their insurance to put $1 million policy out for the guy to shoot them and have the town of Kingsford Heights named as additional
Okay.
insured.
That'll work.
Dennis,
The other one didn't work.
yeah, Dennis Budd was in today and stuff, and I said, this has got to be on the insurance thing, so he's going to take care of that.
As long as they match what's in the MOU.
Yeah, and he's
Okay.
he's not sure because he doesn't know what that's going to cost. You know, because I told him the original insurance policy that was we sent to you and stuff was really insuring. The guy bought the package from Wayne's World, and it was really insuring Wayne's World
Right.
on the fireworks. It didn't have nothing to do with the town or him. So that's taken care of. The Indiana Homeland Security has issued the fireworks permit for it already. So once the Dennis Budd brings over the corrected insurance, then we'll be complete there.
They need to sign that MOU too. That I sent Dennis.
What's it called?
Memorandum
It was a
of understanding.
memorandum of understanding for public fireworks, because then that has a language in there where they're gonna indemnify, hold harmless, and you're gonna want that in case something happens along with the certificate of insurance signed.
Legion signs that or insurance?
Legion,
Okay.
because they're the ones who are asking for the event.
They get it, because I think I'd like to see a fireworks show up.
They should, it just does take a little effort.
Okay. What did I do? Oh. This is a proposal Randy got. He's contacted a few people, a couple that said that wasn't in their kind of line of work, and another one that just didn't show up. This is for a electronic gate down at the sewage plant, and it would have remote controls that would put in all the vehicles and have a keypad. Right now, if you go down, like I went down to the sewage plant this morning, and the gate's open and the plant's open, and there are so many things down there that a small child could get hurt, or so many things down there that the wrong person with an attitude could go down there and start tearing things up. I really think we need to put some kind of security down there where when the guys leave, they push a button, this gate electronically closes, and when they go back, they got another button. Because the guys in that plant there, they drive in and out of that plant, in and out of that area. They don't do that at the water plant, and it stays locked up. But this quote, the sewage plant's got $206,000 in the bank right now. This quote is for $10,840 to install the gate and put 10 radio transmitters in the vehicles. And something Randy'd like to see. I personally think that we're putting a lot of money down in that sewage plant. Matter of fact, by the time it's done in the next year and stuff, that we're probably going to have $1.8 million sitting down there in improvements. And
Randy was also talking about, or Jason was talking about how people are coming in there with furniture and stuff, and then when they're seen, they take off and they leave with the furniture still. So people are coming from out of town and back there and dumping.
Yeah.
According to them guys.
Oh, they've made them leave a few times.
I think we need to resolve the RTS issue before we do that, though, because then we're stopping the residents from going down there and dumping their normal item if the guys aren't actually down at the wastewater treatment plant. I mean, there's times that, you know, if they go down there and the guys aren't there and the gate's closed, then they don't have actual access to it, then they gotta leave, and that becomes a pain, because then they're gonna start complaining in regards that we're not giving them access when we've told them they have access from during normal business hours, Monday through Friday.
What's
I
it look
think we
like?
need to resolve.
Well, I was thinking it was more of a security issue and safety issue down there than the garbage issue. I understand what you're saying on the
Right,
garbage,
I mean, but it plays into, I get the security factor too, but I think we need to resolve I think we need to resolve the RTS issue so that we can actually do the security. It is a security issue. But I do believe if we lock that off and the guys aren't there and they're out for extended periods of time, people that are actually, you know, don't have but one opportunity to get down there to go dump their one piece of furniture or whatever item that they're gonna bring down there, then they're not gonna be able to do that, and now they're still stuck with
so
that.
we just tell them to contact the town hall, and the town hall can call one of the guys. They'll all have transmitters on there, and they can go down, open it up, and make
does
sure
it-
that they're the right people that are dumping inside the dumpster.
What does a 30-yard dumpster cost right now?
I don't know.
I mean, because if we're saving $5,000 a year on these garbage, even if the RTS or whatever these guys' name are, if they don't go for it, I mean, we're saving $5,000 a year. We should be putting dumpsters out in the first place. I mean, we got $5,000 we're willing to give to them guys. We might as well just do it ourselves for the
Well,
town too.
keep in mind, by the contract, we actually have bigger dumpsters than what the contract says. And those are
Well,
little dumpsters down
They
there.
blew us a lot of air that day too, though, because
Yeah.
they was talking 10-yard dumpsters, and they bring us this something that's half the size too.
I think
so-
the contract says 3-yard dumpsters. I think the ones we have are 7.
So worst comes to worst, if we have to, we can put some dumpsters out where they can dump into them. If we're gonna say, we're gonna spend $5,000 a year anyway for somebody else, then it wouldn't be no problem no more.
You mean set a dumpster outside of the sewage plant?
Well, but then
Whatever.
you're gonna have,
Tom, Dick, and Harry will be there
Right, then you're gonna have the same
and
issue.
piling
you guys just
outside.
said,
Oh,
is
you
You're
have
gonna have
other
people
people
coming from
coming
out
And then
of town.
when it's full, they'll dump it on the ground.
And
It's
they'll dump
gotta
it
be
on the ground. and
monitored.
we'll
Well,
have
I'm not
the
thinking so
same
much at
issue.
the town sewage plant, I'm thinking maybe back up here where it was before, where somebody could actually keep an eye on it.
Who's gonna do that?
By the town hall, you mean?
Town. Plus, they can push them
But
loads
then again, the
out.
town hall doesn't
problem-
have time to go out there and.
Well, the
spray
problem with the
either.
town hall is, you know, we've had the spring cleanup and stuff, and everything's fine and dandy while the employees are there, but then after they go
Overnight.
home, we come back to everything and its brother stacked outside and items that aren't supposed to be in there. I think personally, we could just tell the residents and stuff to contact the town hall, and they'll open up the gate and they can get back here, and then we know who's back here dumping and who's not. Because I know we've got a lot of people that are, we've caught them, we've
I
caught
thought
several.
we were gonna put a kibosh on spending.
No, well, the kibosh on spending was when we were hurting this stuff. Right now, I understand that we can sit here and let the bank accounts grow, but we've got so many things that need to be fixed. That's what we did these utility rates increases for and stuff, to fix this stuff. We can't sit here and just let it start falling apart and have a big bank account. You have to fix what we've got. I mean, we've got, take the gate for instance, and then we've got those valves, we've got those other things gonna be taken out. We've got a $100,000 project that's gonna be on the other valves in a small, there's still another $200,000 gonna be going on down to the sewage plant that we're gonna pay for.
It's not about the big bank account. I mean, you have to have vision, maybe a 5-year plan, and if you're gonna keep depleting
Yeah, we'll be dead in
your
5 years.
savings.
The,
Necessities and there's necessities and there's wants.
the sewage plant, I think's on a 4 to 5 year plan. You know, from when we started, from when the grant to where we're fixing and replacing the valves and redoing, getting rid of the digester and going to a bag system and doing it. You know, that's going to take the full 4-year time that we're in here and stuff. But at the end of that 4 years, that should be done, and it should not be any money out of pocket. It should be bought and paid for, and still have a bank account in the end.
Well, I like
And then when that's all done and bought and paid for, then we can go back and readjust the sewage rate and stuff, you know, and drop it, you know, a bit. But we gotta fix what we gotta do.
I'm fine with the security of it. However, like I said, my concern is the RTS and then you know, we're telling our residents before that they don't need to call RTS to come and get that item, but now we're gonna make them call the town hall to make sure that, I mean, we're just kind of going around, in my mind, we're trying to go around in circles here with having them have to call and to do this, to try and make arrangements to go down there and drop their item, whereas we have that, where with waste management, we didn't have to deal with all this stuff. I'm fine with going with the secure gate and to do this. We do have the money to do it, so I'm fine with doing it. It's just, I think we need to resolve our RTS issue so that it's works for everybody all the way around. Remove the thing from out there and get them to bring their trucks out on Fridays or on Thursdays or Tuesdays when they have their people follow the truck around and pick up those items. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to do it once a week like Waste Management was doing it on a regular basis.
I don't think it's hard at all, but I'm dealing with this RTS group is
to put the gate up and then have them have to call the town hall to make sure to do this and then wait for, because if those guys are actually tied up on something major, they're not going to be able to get down there and do it. I mean, we're kind of spinning our wheels here with
Well, the
with
thing
what we
with
dealt with RTS.
The thing with calling RTS wasn't the fact of, it was the fact that they didn't come after when they were called. We're not going to have that problem at the town hall and stuff with the employees. I don't see RTS getting resolved
Somebody
for a
calling the
while.
town hall though, that'd be the best thing to do. I think if you're calling the town hall and you're letting somebody know you're going down there, at least we know who's going in and out of the sewer plant. Right now, we don't know who's going in and out of there. I mean, if you sit around and don't put a gate up, the people are still gonna go in and out. And that's what the workers were talking about. There was too many people coming in and out there that don't belong back there.
And they could still call the town hall and not be from the town and get in.
Not
No.
necessarily.
No, they've
How you gonna say?
been checking licenses and stuff.
Yeah, they're watching that
You
stuff
have a
now.
license, you show a town address that you don't dump.
Plus Randy's
Watch
getting
them,
where
send
he
them
knows
home.
they all know who's going down there and who's not.
We've had trailers come in from out of town trying to dump down there. So, no difference than the spring cleanup. You know, they find open, and then they use the dumpsters that are out here, you know, and fill them up. So what are we gonna do?
Yeah. Good question.
I was reading the owner's responsibility. The town's got to do a lot for the responsibility. Did you read that?
Well, we've got the tornado and fire and everything insurance. We've got the permits we don't have to worry about. Underground utilities, and we don't have to worry about that. And the locates is, you know, and the staking of fences, that's just an 811 call and it's done.
Well, I know everybody doesn't want to spend no money, but I don't want to sit there and watch that bank account build up and us not be doing nothing. I mean, we raise the rates on these
That's
people
what-
and then we
right.
sit around with
There's
the
a lot of
money and we're
stuff
not
that needs to
spending
be
it. I mean,
done.
let's spend it. That's what it's there
So
for.
you're here to spend money, right?
No, I'm here to make sure the town's taken care of because a lot of people didn't take care of the town back in the last past years. I mean, we was handed a big bowl of crap is what we was handed. We're trying to fix it. We don't want a bunch of people just stopping it every time we try to make a move. We're not going nowhere if everybody's just gonna keep stopping it. I'm gonna make a motion that we buy this fence for $10,840 from Northwest Indiana Fence Company.
I'm gonna second it just because I like the security aspect of it all.
It's been moved in second that we have, who is this? Northwest Indiana Fence Company, put an electronic fence gate down at the sewage plant for a total of $10,840. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed?
With what I said is I'd like to see RTS resolved before we put a secure gate on there to make it a little harder for the.
So are you opposed or not opposed?
I'm I'm not necessarily opposed, but I would like to see their RTS.
I
get
understand
resolved.
what you're saying there.
But yes, I'm for it 100%. It's just I'd like to see RTS resolved before it actually gets installed, is my plea to the council.
So is that a yay or a nay?
Yes, I'm an aye.
Okay.
And I don't think it's gonna take much. I mean, he's already reaching out to RTS. I think it could get resolved sooner than we think.
Yay or
At
nay?
least he called back.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking to Dennis out before.
Doesn't matter, nay.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Clerk's report,
I have none today.
attorney's report,
I don't have anything.
public comments. Any public comments? I'd like to take this time to thank the first responders last night.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Going out there in the, with tornadoes supposedly coming and our siren all down and stuff.
Well, that's what was wrong.
I've been there and done that, and it's a pucker factor when you're out in that weather looking for a tornado at night.
We'll also let the council know the police department stayed on extra hours.
He said he
Multiple hours
realized the
last
first
night
Saturday of the month,
because
it went off.
The
Or
county
you
had a
would go
pursuit
off.
right before that.
Nobody heard a
Weather storm
siren,
came
so
in
that's
with
what
an
I heard.
accident on the
So that
Togo,
was a
which
part of
tied
The
up
fire
I seen that on
department-
it.
multiple
Yeah,
units.
that's what they were saying.
And he stayed on to assist with
anybody. I just heard
anything that
the
may
siren.
No, they
have
were
occurred down
speaking, but I
this
didn't
way. So,
understand nothing.
and he also
Usually
helped
that's how it is when you're inside.
go through the town with his,
You have to go outside.
alerting
What?
residents as well, so he needs to be
It was,
included in
too.
that,
Yeah. Well, I know at 12:45 or 12:30, I was looking out my front door and stuff, watching the sirens everywhere in town, and watching the rain go sideways, and I was waiting for the hail.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that the last post was on Facebook was tornado on the backside of the heights, and that was it. So, and being a town that has experienced a tornado that hit us over here and then bounced over the top and then ripped it apart over there, it's definite pucker factor. So. Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
Move a second, we adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned.